Hey, everybody, welcome on back. It's You Got to Try This podcast starring, featuring me, Large, and then Ian Becker behind the ones and twos. This is the first episode that we're shooting live in 2026. We were able to backlog a bunch of episodes that wound up doing very well. So shout out to Jenksy for coming in and dropping some knowledge and some health on us. And then shout out to Chris Clemmer for just dropping some weirdness on us the following week. It wound up being a very good end of year. If you guys ever have the pleasure of working with Ian, I said, Ian, can we put together a best of? And he was like, go fuck yourself, Large. And your best ofs, we're going to pump out new episodes all the time, every time. Maybe we have some best ofs coming up once we get a couple more in the tank. But you're against best ofs, right?
That's lazy stuff.
It's lazy? Yeah.
That's lazy stuff. And the people have already heard it, man.
You know what it's lazy? It's lazy for the content guy. It's lazy for the guy in front of the camera. Because if we do a best of, just so you know, and I know you guys watched a lot of best ofs, I'm not talking about those clips like best dishes and stuff. But when people do best of podcasts, that means the person in front of the camera, me, has nothing to do. Maybe a VO. Or something, but it's all on your shoulders too. So you still have to do an even more, heavier lift episode, right? If it is a best of.
No, it would also be easier for me to do a best of.
Would it? Okay.
It would totally be easier for me to do a best of.
Right.
But I think we're so new.
Yeah,
people have heard every episode. They don't want to they want to rehear the Stu Feiner stories. You go listen to the Stu Feiner episode.
That's true. I think I'm at a point too where I try to take constructive criticism. Every time I have a guest on, for the most part, the guest doesn't know me. Like, I don't know Jenks that well. So if there's some repetition on my background that I try to have my guests feel comfortable with, I think that's what I need to do to have a better conversation. So if you feel like you're hearing some of the same you haven't scratched the surface on my stories. I've been whipping around this coil for way too long that I got some fucking zingers for you guys if we ever get to sit down at a table together, which I'm about to talk about.
And I think you said about that restaurant that Jenks recommended that it might be an Outback now. It's not an Outback, and they'll be fine on business.
Yeah,
for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I tell you what, place looks legit, and what's good about the algorithm, it sort of gets it into the right hands. So people, not necessarily people who are living in Forenza or whatever the fuck it is, people who even have it visited on their timeline, they're like, oh my God, this restaurant popped back up when they're not following it. So anyway, so much appreciation to the boys for coming in and doing what they do. We had a very, very good 2026 as far as our little franchise is concerned, and we're hoping that it's nothing but growth. We had very good 2025, and we're hoping that there's nothing but growth in 2026. Listen, one of the reasons that it was such a good year too was I got to pair a lot of meals with Pepsi. You see how I'm going into that? Pepsi makes food taste better. We're back, right? So I go into these restaurants all over the place, and I go to places that don't serve Pepsi. I go to places that do serve Pepsi. When they do, it's just a no-brainer for me. I like Pepsi. That's why they reached out to me to be part of this podcast, and I couldn't be happier with the relationship that we have. I eat so much stuff that's overwhelming, and it literally is the perfect vehicle to cut through everything for me and get me ready for the next bite. I don't know how much better to explain it from a food tasting perspective. So I enjoy Pepsi. I find that it pairs well with all the good meals that I have, particularly Italian meals. I love to have a glass of soda alongside my red wine, my martinis, my Strega, all this kind of stuff. And Pepsi does the trick for me. So it enhances the flavor of your food, makes your flavors pop, goes very well with whatever you're eating. So if you're going to a place, ask for it by name, grab it in the bodega, and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for your continued support, Pepsi. Speaking of Italian meals, I just got back from Chicago. We have a very special guest that we had in Chicago. Actually, two special guests that we're going to have in just a couple of, in this episode and the next episode. But while I was there, I was lucky enough to bump into Dante the Don. And he said, holy shit, I didn't know you were in town. Are you finally going to go to fucking dinner with me? You know, like he was all mad at me from it. And Dante and Ian know each other better since Dante was part of the Beach House this year. 2025, even though Dante had said on social it was a tough year for him, it was a breakout year for Dante the Don. He's a restaurant owner. Like he's a businessman. The whole deal was the DJ thing. He had a terrible assault in 2024 where somebody, beat his face in. I mean, the Don's been through it up and down, but we sat down in one of his favorite spots in Chicago, a place called La Scarola, which is just Italian for escarole. I thought it might have been somebody's last name, but it's just scarole and beans. So we went in there, old school Italian. It was myself, Dante, Mike Kadick, who you remember from being on the show. He's the offensive lineman from Indiana, who's now just offensive. And Kadick is trying to, I love Kadick. He's trying to kind of class up a little bit, sort of like that Dana B thing, where he wants to learn how to not hold a wine glass with both hands when he's drinking. Guy, he operates like a Viking. He does. He operates like a Viking. He holds utensils like he's doing yard work. There's no subtlety to him. So Dante's like, let me take you to a couple of places and try to open you up to the finer things, which I know is stuff that gets passed back and forth. We were thinking about doing something like it. I know it's been done in different iterations here before, but right now it's like Kadick and Dante are doing it. The fourth person at the table alongside us was Danny Conrad. And I was in the perfect seat because Danny is immensely funny. Danny is very, very funny, but he's an under the breath funny guy. Like he sometimes purposely plays to other parts of the room outside of his target. So to sit next to him and hear some of the stuff that he was saying, it was an extremely enjoyable meal. La Scarola, the gentleman there, I believe his name is Benny. I'll have to check that. As soon as you sit down, 4 shots of tequila on the table. Okay, bang. A couple of minutes later, 4 more shots of tequila. Just kept bringing them over. Nobody's ordering them. We had some red wine. I didn't even do the martini because I was going to be doing all these shots. I did have a little strega at the end. Strega is an Italian digestif. Strega is actually Italian for witch, and I consider it almost the Italian Malort. It's got all those almost like it's herbaceous. Like Malort's got the whole fucking kitchen sink thrown in there. Strega is like that, but smoother, and it makes my tummy feel good at the end of it. But a fantastic meal. I'm going to review the place. I took as much as I could while being drunk on tequila while we were there. So we'll put that video out, in pieces or whatever. And I also had a very good breakfast sandwich and taco experience while I was out there. All the way around, Chicago was fantastic. And one of the highlights of it, not to go back to one of our old guests, that ice cream machine is tight. I go there, I say hello to everybody, get myself situated. I go right down to that kitchenette, and now they have these like waffle cone bowls, broke it up, made myself a little waffle cone sundae. So shout out Zach. I mean, guys doing his thing. I got to speak to him for a little bit. He was like, man, that Jenks guy is weird. I'm like, yeah, I guess, kettle calling the guy black, but he's just awesome. So he's going to come on again. Zach's going to come on again and give us a little bit of an update. How you doing, Ian? Should I ask?
I'm doing good.
Oh, yeah?
I have a question too.
You have a question? Before you have okay. Give me your question. What's the question for today?
What? No, before the question, what do you want to ask?
I had seen something and I wanted your opinion on it.
Okay.
Because I think did you watch The Sopranos?
Yes.
What did you think of it?
Loved it.
Everybody loves Sopranos. Everybody loves The Sopranos, including myself. And it was must-see TV when it was out. I don't know if you watched it real time. Are you too young? You couldn't have watched it real time. You couldn't have watched it real time.
What question is that?
Wait, how old were you? Fuck, I hate
I was born in 2001, February.
So when did you watch The Sopranos?
Like sophomore year of college.
Oh, okay.
During COVID.
So when The Sopranos came out, we watched it every week. Myself and my wife, we were living in an apartment, and I'd put on like a guinea tee, a tank top, whatever, I'd make like a big Italian meal and we'd watch it every week. And it was terrible because when the season would end, you'd have to wait like another year. But as soon as it came back, appointment TV for us. Like, so I really loved it. And I thought Tony's character, I wasn't happy with the ending of it. I know it's kind of a controversial thing for some people. Love the ending, some people don't. I hated the ending of The Sopranos. I thought we deserved much more. But either way, Tony became sort of an, I'll use the word, iconic figure in TV and beyond. So when I was casually at home and I had read Inside History, had given me this, James Gandolfini, right? He'd passed away in 2013 while vacationing in Rome with his son, Michael. After a large dinner at a local restaurant, he returned to his hotel where he collapsed in the bathroom after suffering a sudden heart attack. He was only 51 years old. He was 3 years younger than me. And it was his son who discovered him and called for help, which is very unfortunate. His death sent shockwaves around the world, making the loss of one of television's most formidable talents, an actor forever remembered for portraying Tony Soprano with extraordinary depth and humanity. I thought that was written very well. That little line by Inside History was written very well, but it has nothing to do with the point that I'm about to make. They tell you what his final meal was. Did you see this?
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Right. So his final meal, if you guys will just listen to this, 4 shots of rum, 2 pina coladas, 2 beers, 2 orders of fried shrimp, and a large serving of foie gras. So a large serving of foie, 2 orders of fried shrimp. So I'm assuming those prawns were pretty big, maybe 5 in an order. So 10 fried shrimp, 2 beers, 2 pina coladas, and 4 shots. That's not a lot. I was expecting more to take. And listen, rest in peace. I'm not being disrespectful to Tony Soprano. I'm a mouth breather. He was like a real mouth. Like, I thought that guy would have those Katic-like numbers going out. This is nothing.
I think we might be at the only company where like that sounds like a normal meal.
Is that yeah, am I fucked up?
I think Stu Feiner and Katic have blown things way out of proportion.
Have they ruined reality?
I think if James Gandolfini was still here today and came on the show and you asked him the death row meal question,
right.
I think he would give you that meal as his answer.
And I don't think I'd be impressed. Again, rest in peace. And I think what I just read to you from Inside History was a very good summation of what his deal was in time. I have a lot of respect and condolences to his family so many years later. But man, tonight I could do 2 orders of fried shrimp, a large serving of foie. And I know that foie is very, very unhealthy for you. And it's one of the things that triggers my gout. Like Noah, I would have to say if there's 3 things that trigger my gout, number 1 through 3 is probably foie gras. I mean, that stuff is purine, just ugh. And I love it. It's nature's butter to me. I love foie. And pina coladas with a couple of floaters. I mean, 4 rum shots. I had 4 shots. I had 6 shots at dinner. Honestly, with a bottle, like my dinner at La Scarola trumps what took down Tony fucking Soprano. Maybe it's a wake-up call to me.
Maybe we need some more journalism to be done here.
Okay.
I need to know what he had for lunch.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point because he could have if he went this hard at lunch and then had like a full English breakfast, which he didn't have because he was traveling in Italy or whatever the hell it was, then maybe it brings things into perspective. But maybe I'm just ruined. I think reality is now ruined. Pornography is ruined for me because of AI, and reality is ruined for me because of Stu Feiner. And that's just the way it is. So rest in peace, Tony Soprano. But I have to be honest, I was expecting more to take the guy down. Yeah, I was expecting more to take that down.
He wouldn't survive the appetizer section of a Stu Feiner dinner.
Paulie Walnuts, is he still with us? I don't think so. I'm hoping he went down with a big fucking plate of gabagool, like happy and died peacefully in his sleep afterwards. That's a weird topic to bring up, but I was dying to talk to you about it for some fucking reason. All right, so we're going to get to one of the letters from you guys right now. And again, 5-star reviews, drop in any kind of question, and we'll try to answer it. But before we do that, I just want to remind people about Tony's Cajun Kick. This is the stuff that has changed my life as far as garlic bread goes. I don't mean to make it just that simple, but I reach into my pantry for certain things, for certain dishes. I can't do without it. And then all of a sudden I get introduced this, like Bobby Singh was telling me about this, one of the first guys to tell me about this Cajun Kick stuff. And so I talked about it, I put on a sandwich, they reach out to me, and it just makes sense. It's Tony's Cajun Kick, and it's got a kick to it. So if you remember the regular old Tony Chachere's blend, it's still there, should still be in your pantry and all that stuff. But this one has upped the garlic, dropped down on the salt, which I don't mind because I'm always seasoning my food as I go along, but it gives you this clean hit of heat is what I want. So whether you're, I don't know, doing a pork chop or doing garlic bread, like I say, even dummying up your eggs afterwards, you're going to get that blast of garlic, that blast of heat, and it's not going to add too much salt to it, which is the one thing that kind of screws up dishes when you tend to use canned seasonings. So use it in place of salt and pepper. It comes from Tony Chachere's, but it has more attitude, and it's not replacing Tony's. It's Tony's Cajun Kick. It's the seasoning blend that I swear by. So go out and try to find it. But if you can't, then you're going to have to, well, if you can go out, you have places like H-E-B, Rouse's, Associated Grocers, Associated Wholesale Grocers, and perhaps most importantly, Amazon is where I first had gotten it. It's currently only available in select stores in Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi, but you can meet the all-new Tony's Cajun Kick, turn up the heat, turn up the flavor. It brings bold, spice, zesty garlic, and just the right amount of burn to wake up anything on your plate. Shop now at CajunKick.com/Barstool. So screw Amazon for this one. CajunKick.com/Barstool. Pick it up. And for me, try it on garlic bread and tell me that's not the best thing that you ever had. All right. What's the letter?
This was a comment, a 5-star comment. We're just going to pray that you gave 5 stars on our Spotify episode, West Coast Recap, from Vigan6889. Large and Ian, I love the pod. Thank you. Every Monday is like Christmas, a.k.a. Large's birthday. Happy belated, by the way. I didn't get to say happy birthday to him. I got him these
by the way, yeah.
Fiore's Deli, Fiore's House of Quality coasters.
Yeah, so Fiore's
handmade.
Yeah, so Fiore's House of Quality, everyone in the East Coast probably knows about it, but their roast beef and fresh mozzarella sandwiches that they dip and then they put in those like garlic marinated hot cherry peppers on top of it is, I mean, I know I eat a lot of sandwiches, but it's one on the Rushmore.
And one of the first places that we ever did.
Yeah. No seats in there. It's all cash. Eat it on the hood of your car. My buddy Mickey Doyle works there. They sell all these old... Fiore's is quality. So anyway, Ian, I come in and all of a sudden I have a couple of coasters. I got the Fiore's coasters, which is kind of cool. So I appreciate that. But go ahead.
What do you get the guy who has everything?
Yeah, exactly. No, I love this. It's extremely thoughtful. It means more to me.
You guys should get Jeff Mauro on. I think he would be an awesome guest. Thank you, Vigan.
Okay. So Vigan. So Jeff Mauro is, so what we would like to do is get other people from the food world on this show. It not only legitimizes the show, but I love talking food with people that have done it their whole lives. So that's why I cherish Zimmerman's episode, Chef Greeny's episode. I love talking to Chef Greeny. We had to pull the hook out on Chef Mike Ferraro. Chef Mike Ferraro could have talked about food for 6 fucking hours. So a Stratus coming in and talking about restaurants and all that stuff. Scott Conant, all these guys that are coming in and talking about it, I love it. Jeff Mauro, I'm actually a fan of. He's a Chicago guy. He had won Next Food Network Star. It's their annual reality show. And then they give a shot to the one person who wins it with some, show that fits their personality. And that's how they go about getting new talent and parlaying it with a reality show. So Jeff had won that. Then he went on to host a sandwich show for a while because that was his milieu. And then he went on to host The Kitchen, which was their ensemble thing, almost like a View with Jeffrey Sakarian, Sonny, Katie Lee, and they would get on there every day. Or I think maybe they would tape once a week. I don't even remember. And they'd all be around the kitchen and they'd be dealing with their fans and doing some trends and all these different recipes. It was actually a very, very positive and easy show to listen to. And part of the reason for that was Jeff Mauro. He's a big personality, very, very nice guy, big, handsome Italian dude. And what's the guy's name who sent in the picture? The thing? Viggins. So by coincidence, Mr. Viggins, Jeff Mauro is on the show today. So I think without further ado, we don't have any more ads or anything like that. I just taped it yesterday. He came into our offices, and originally we weren't going to have a lot of time with him, but he freed up some time. He brought in all this stuff from his company, Mauro Provisions. I was able to make Italian beefs in the office with him. And then we went upstairs and we chatted for an hour and change just about working for Food Network and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed as much as Viggins should, right? Talk about fucking you ask and we shall deliver, right? Ask somebody else to ask to get Bobby Flay on. Let me see if we can do something like that. But anyway, so without further ado, for the rest of the episode, it's going to be myself in Chicago with Jeff Mauro, the sandwich king of Chicago, and he's arguing that he's the sandwich king of the world. And here's Jeff. Hey, everybody, welcome on back. It's You Got to Try This podcast starring me, Large. But the bigger star today on this stage is my man, Jeff Mauro, who's he's the sandwich king of the world.
Yes.
It used to be Chicago, and then I had mentioned it casually that he's the sandwich king of Chicago, and I was stopped abruptly and almost rudely by you saying that it's not just Chicago at all, you fatto, or whatever you might have called it, baldy.
Yeah.
It's actually well. So Jeff Mauro from Food Network, he's been in a bunch of shit. He's going to be in a bunch of shit. We're going to break all of it down. I'm in Chicago still. Gabby is going to be behind the ones and twos helping us out with the tech. Ian will be doing all the editing once we get back. And I got to tell you, I was out here doing a couple of things, and one of the people who works for us are talent booking in New York. It's a young lady named Jordan, a young lady named Sage. They said that you had some sort of opening. I jumped at the opportunity to talk to you because I'm a big fan. So I'm going to start off by saying that. How do you feel about me?
I like you.
Okay, good. So
it's been we've been together for an hour so far, haven't we? I think we've had a nice time before the cameras were on. An authentic relationship has been forged here.
So, and it was built around food.
Yep.
He came in with a bunch of Italian beefs, so Mauro Provisions, I'm already going to start the promotion stuff. Mauro Provisions is one of these places where you can go and order essentially an Italian beef kit right down to the yard. So you'd come in with the rolls, which you hit with the yard oil before popping them in the toaster oven, which is fucking chess. And then you have your jus, you have your beef, you have your yard, you have your rolls, you have your wrapper for the Mauro minute just to get everything kind of distributed through the sandwich. And I'm telling you right now, it was an elite sandwich, one that you got to try. That's Mauro Provisions. But what he's in and doing the rounds for right now is Worst Cooks in America reality check. Worst Cooks in America has existed on the Food Network for a while, and it is a show that makes me angry because you find out just how bad some people are in the kitchen. So give me a little bit of a background on the show and what we can expect from the reality show edition this year.
Well, I've done a bunch of these seasons, as you know. To reiterate what you said, it shocks me every time, especially during that first cook. And you're like, I don't understand how these people function in life. And then you add on top of that reality stars.
I got to go down I'll go down the list for people who don't know. Lisa Barlow.
Oh, the best.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She is the best, right?
Do you watch Salt? I mean, I'm a fan of Salt Lake. I'm a fan of Housewives.
Right.
I literally just did Watch What Happens Live last night in New York as the bartender. She wasn't there, but it's such a world, and they are the big dogs in this world.
It is a culture,
God,
and they sit on a throne.
Yep.
But I would cut her head off just to say hello to Downtown Julie Brown.
She's
because the MTV VJ Wubba Wubba Downtown Julie Brown. I don't know. I really enjoyed the cut of her jib back in the day. I almost don't want to watch it because I think I'm going to get angry that she doesn't know how to fucking use a spatula. But Downtown Downtown Julie Brown is a blast from the past for me.
Well, let me tell you this about.
Go.
She's awesome. She was on my team. She's on the blue team. So is Lisa. So I have a great
You
team.
do have a good team.
We'll go down the list, but what shocked me most about Downtown Julie Brown, she's very passionate, right? She's very bubbly. She's awesome. She became a great. We all bonded. We all became friends. But her biggest hindrance is that she has a severe fear
Of?
wood.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
So
Wood,
cutting boards?
Cutting boards. The entire stations are made out of wood.
Yeah.
Wooden spoons. Name it. Wooden spatulas, wooden ladles. Like, I mean, the handles of knives.
Yeah. By the way, that's a jinx.
You know what it is? You know what it's called too?
Well,
xylophobia.
xylophobia is her fear of wood.
Yeah, like I guess that's wood. Like a xylophone. Anyway, she's great.
I hate her now. Val
Sorry.
Chernovsky. So it's whatever. So Maxim Murkowski was his brother, the older guy. Val is the younger, better looking guy, and he's Dancing with the Stars. Is he on your team?
He's not on my team.
Good. Fuck
He's
him.
so. I
No,
know.
fuck that
He was
guy.
so light. He's so nice.
Yeah,
though.
but he's a beautiful guy. Fuck
I
him.
know. So, like
Yeah.
that must be nice,
Yeah,
right?
Reza Farahan
Yes.
from Shahs of Sunset. Never saw the show. I'm going to have to be honest with that. I don't think I'm the target market though. Maybe
No,
so I'm not buying any.
he's a great guy, hard worker in
Okay.
there.
Your team again?
Not many people wear like a new Rolex every episode, but he managed to find a way.
Amara La Negra from Love and Hip Hop Miami.
Yeah, classic. She's
Is it?
great, very bubbly, very awesome.
Okay.
She wasn't on my team though.
Ryan Lochte,
On my team,
absolute punk ass from the Olympics.
dude.
I mean, the guy, he was
12 medals,
a media,
12 medals.
He was a media like lightning rod for a while. He's got 12 medals.
Yeah.
That was the Michael Phelps years, right? And all that.
Yeah.
So Ryan Lochte in there. So elite athlete, probably a terrible cook. Manila Luzon from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah. It's a feisty drag queen.
Is she?
Feisty.
Gotta
bro.
have one of those.
Feisty.
Lil Romeo Miller, rapper and actor. Little Romeo, I thought would be better in the kitchen. Is he or is he not?
Not great.
Okay. There's
you gotta
nobody who's
tune it.
great.
Yeah, he's not great. But what I did respect, even though he wasn't on my team, you know what he addressed me as? And I coach.
I like
that too.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 47.
So you're nowhere near this, but I'm 54. You know what people call me now?
Old balls,
Yeah.
Johnny.
Unk.
Cakes. Unk. I like that. You
I don't
like
mind it. I used to be called like old head or old balls
Yeah.
or old guy or something like that. Now it seems like it's kind of not a slurish, but I think people sometimes say it in a derogatory manner, and sometimes people say it out of
like
respect.
who Unk is this?
Yeah,
right.
and I don't mind it.
Do your kids call you Unk?
No, my kids know better. I would tear their yeah. And I don't mind saying back, hey, what's up, nephew? Like, I don't mind saying that to people who hit me with Unk. And then rounding out, it's Beverly Mitchell from Seventh Heaven.
So lovely. Just so lovely. She was there. She was with her whole family. She was the only one like doing laundry while we had our 4 hours of break a day. You
And
know?
then Cite Tamburello from
Dude,
the
just
challenge.
a monster competitor, just a monster in the kitchen. Like if you could picture a monster who's never been on Earth,
Okay.
and then you're like, this is Earth, and this is a kitchen, and with some salt and some oil and some heat,
Right.
figure it out. Ew, dude, I ate a lot of CT.
Oh, next to a British VJ who's afraid of wood. So, worst cooks in America.
That's it, baby.
Yeah. So the reality edition of Worst Cooks in America, it's on now on Food Network. Is that all I have to say, or is there an airtime drop that I need to do
No, it's
specifically?
8 p.m. on Sundays.
Sundays at 8 p.m. You'll get a new episode. It started on January 4th, so you can tune into it today.
You can stream it on HBO Max too.
That's what I'd seen for the first
Yeah.
time this year. You can stream.
Stream on HBO Max.
Right, exactly.
Part of the family.
Yeah, so HBO Max or Food Network, you can get anything that you need to scratch that itch that I'm not going to be able to scratch with this. Let's move backwards. The first time I got to know who you were was in that search for the next Food Network star.
Yeah.
Correct? How long ago was that?
2011, season 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you win?
I won the hell out of that.
And then from that, it just kind of parlayed into all these different. And with Food Network, I think it's one of those things where they throw a lot of ideas against the wall. Some of them make it, some of them make it for a while. There are very few that become that cornerstone that's going to last forever. But you did get on one of those long running 40 season, 12 year morning shows for them,
Yeah.
the kitchen, and then that's where I fell in love with you. Just so you know what our relationship
Well,
is.
that love is mutual.
Thank you.
Yeah, the kitchen was great. I mean, it's we had a great run. I mean, 40 seasons is wild in this business.
Yeah.
Of, linear cable television, which is, there's still a world where people really consume this stuff, and we forget, so we're so involved in our phones and our screens
Yep.
and our laptops and iPads, that there's, it's coming back. People need to sit and watch a big screen and just, experience something as it airs. And that's what the kitchen was for people every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for 12 years. So I'm proud of it.
And I can tell you the way that you had interacted with the cast, they casted it perfect because you were a perfect foil for Zakarian,
Yep.
I thought. Right. And you actually you kept him in check when he got to Jeffrey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you brought him down to be a little bit of Jeff. And then obviously Katie and Sonny also did a fantastic job. And you guys worked off each other so well. So I don't know. It's one of those things where they stopped last year. It just stopped.
Yeah,
at the end of 2025.
right at the and there's some stuff coming down the pike too, and some specials and stuff. So it'll live on in some format. But the magic was the relationship, and it was this friendship that we developed over 12 years.
Yeah.
And I think the difference when you look at other ensemble shows, The View, the Chew, the Talk, all these other ones, we weren't just talking and creating contention just by our opinions, right? This was it was uplifting, and we're just cooking and making good food with some mild ball breaking in between. And for me, it was a dream because I spent my whole life, being the class clown.
Yeah.
And just waiting for that moment to hit that zinger and just waiting and just timing and comic timing. And this was me being paid to be the class clown while eating and cooking and drinking.
What do you think it is though? Because there was a lot of booze on that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It seems like it's one of the only places where I find positivity nowadays is places like the Food Network.
Yeah.
And not necessarily just the Food Network. I will tell you one of the most delightful, and I don't use that word lightly.
No, it is.
Delightful shows that I watch is the Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
And it's all positivity.
Yeah.
And it's Prue and Paul Hollywood, and there's some ball breaking and stuff like that. But you walk through there's no hassle.
No.
There's no nasty comment section.
Yeah.
There's no nothing. And I felt like you provided that for us with Food Network, with the kitchen. And I can't imagine that doesn't permeate through with the rest of the stuff that you do. So I'm telling you, Worst Cooks in America, I couldn't host it because I would get too it's the same reason why I can't teach kindergarten anymore because I hit a kid. I'm just kidding.
No,
but I'm saying it's one of those things.
He probably deserved it.
All right. So give us your resume on why I should respect your palate.
Dude, it is first of all, it's Worst Cooks in America out of all the shows I filmed is the most taxing show. It's long, right? You're yelling at these people from a perch hours a day, right?
Yeah.
You have these crazy games where they're like these skill challenges where they're running through a ball pit and got to swing on the thing and then pop a thing with their thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you're yelling at them during that. Then you got to teach them for sometimes 5 hours a day of demo, like classes that that you see literally 12 seconds of.
Right.
So even the off-camera stuff is long you want to win, so you need to, but you have this truncated amount of time to teach them the fundamentals of cooking, and then you're just like, here you go, and then they got to cook for an hour, and you're just yelling at them because you're like, I just told you, and it's that on repeat, and by the time you're done for the day, you're just like, oh my God, we got to do this again tomorrow, and you get there and you see them, and these guys, especially like the reality competitors that are basically making their living by competing on reality. Sure. They're in the morning, doesn't matter what they did last, they're ready to roll, dude, and they want to win.
Oh, good. I mean,
so that's good.
But you also have to eat, and that's what I think is an allure to this. I know. And by the way, we should just say from the very outset, the food world is less interesting without Anne Burrell.
Yes.
In everything that she does. You miss everything that she did. Unfortunately, I have to word it like that, and that's a shame. And she was great on that show with you too, because she always scares people. Like you can be in there and you can be the tough guy and push people around a little bit because you're a bigger dude, but you always do it with a little bit of comedy behind it and a little bit of understanding. She was tough. Like she could crack a whip. And then at the end of these things where you guys are served something from Little Romeo and it just doesn't cut it. How is that? I mean, is there an inedible thing, or is there a puke bucket next to you? What's that like?
I usually spit out about 3 things per season.
Okay.
And that's because
I would have guessed more, but it's good.
It's good. Because I don't want to discourage them. Of
course.
We are tasting our own. We're not like sending the other team's recruits home. You know, we like collectively do it, and we taste our own dishes of our people. So you want to give constructive criticism, but sometimes you have to spit it out because it's a life or death moment, right? Yeah. I mean, when you see that like chicken thigh just bleeding, you know, with the aorta coming out of it, and you're like, is that a noodle? It's not. Is it soba?
It's blue ramen.
Blue ramen.
Yeah, God bless you. You're doing Lord's work,
dude. And I lose pounds. I mean, it's just because you're taking bites of bad food, but then the magic of it is it gets better. It really does. And then that's when like things start clicking. And then you have a more manageable group of people to kind of guide. And then now you cut out the fat, right? Because, not everybody's cut out for it. So when the weeks progress, they do get better and you get a little more, satiated from this food. And sometimes you're like, man, that was a delicious bite.
Who's the worst celebrity chef of all time that you've dealt with?
Like personality wise?
Yeah.
Nobody.
No. I don't mean like Chef Eric Green's a good friend of mine. I don't mean that. Greenie. I mean anybody who's been on the show, I should say. Who's the worst contestant of all time?
Oh, okay.
Who jumps out at you as somebody who could not boil toast? Like that type of thing. Imagine if I went at you like that.
Oh my
God.
Be
like, oh my God, isn't Bobby Flay full of shit? Like
I thought, the network's on the Zoom call right now. She's buzzing my pocket with her remote shock collar.
I totally misspoke there. Who's the worst competitor?
I get that question all the time.
Right.
I'm like, the beauty of answering that question is it's honest. Like there's 15 of us. You know what I mean? Like we all get along. There's enough for us. And we all travel in similar circles at festivals and we see each other. So it's like a fun little family and community to be a part of. Where like nobody's really that.
Or you're talking about the other Food Network?
I'm talking about the other Food Network people.
I've only gotten positive stuff. Like people are telling me, because I've been lucky enough to speak to a bunch of people from the network, and they're like, oh, you got to speak to Damaris at some point.
She's amazing.
She's fucking awesome to hang out. Like people that you might not even think. Yeah. It seems like across the board, everyone has respect for everybody else, which is nice. Yeah.
It's cool. You look at other mediums or whatever, and there's, how many podcasters are there now? How many stand-up comics are there? How many actors? How many artists? How many musicians? Rock and roll guys, But for us, there's only so many celebrity chefs. It's like this little world that, you either know who the heck we are, like, and you watch and you love us, or you have no idea who we are. There's no like kind of gray area.
So Emerald's a dick.
Emerald's a piece of shit. No.
Yeah.
I met him once. He was nice.
Yeah, his son seems to be getting into it now too, which is nice.
Got a star.
Yeah, good for him.
I mean, how proud is he?
I know, he must be a proud papa.
I bet he's proud when he sees those copper pan sales come in.
Yeah.
Screw the kid. I need a new yacht.
Give me your resume. Why should I respect your palate? What's the background with Jeff Mauro that makes him a guy that could make me a sandwich and I would eat it without questioning what's inside of it?
Born to a huge Italian-American family on the northwest side of Chicago. My dad's from Taylor Street. My mom's from Galewood, Montclair area. Just raised amongst aunts and matriarchs, cooking, and like most young little Italian chubby boys, food was my great love,
right?
And then I discovered performing, and so I married those two eventually with being in theater and Second City youth programs, while cutting my teeth in delis. As all my first jobs were butcher shops, then a deli, then a caterer, then I slung Italian beefs throughout my entire teenage years, 5 years at Taste of Chicago every year for Tuscany, and graduated high school, went to college, played in a band for all 4 years, was in a fraternity, but was the kitchen steward there because I had a food background. So I got free board by doing, ordering food and keeping the kitchen clean and cleaning it up every night. And then I graduated and opened a deli with my cousin Dave out in the suburbs. He was an executive chef at a hot place in the city. He was just like, he's like, I need better hours. He's like, you've worked in food and Photoshop, right? I'm like, yep. He's like, let's do this. So literally ripping out carpet, making up sandwiches, soup, salad, pasta, everything. And it was just, that kind of solidified my love for cooking and food from a professional, ground up, grassroots style, just food service business. And it was, very life-changing to me because it gave me a sense of what it takes to do this and how to like interact with the customers now that I'm like an adult, not just like a high school kid who's like making weed money,
Yeah.
And during all that time, I was in Tony and Tina's wedding, which was in Chicago.
Jesus Christ.
So I did that at nights for 4 years, and I had the deli for 4 years. I left the show. I eventually went up to Tony. I played every role. I played Tony the last 2 years. I could tell you some stories about that.
Hold on, before he goes on. So in case you guys aren't familiar, Tony and Tina's Wedding was an interactive show where you felt like, as being part of the audience, that you were at an Italian wedding. Am I doing it justice with that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Succinct description of it.
So you got pulled in, it was a scene. It was a lot of fun. It was interactive and stuff. But the people who were in Tony and Tina's Wedding had to be these very loud characters. Like you had to be bigger than the room. So I'm glad that you said you got up to Tony, because I could totally see you playing Tony, and I would probably enjoy the shit out of it.
Well, I had to lose weight. The director came up to me. You got to lose 25 pounds.
Wow.
In order to play Tony, and he'd make me do laps up and down the chapel. And then around the reception hall. It was crazy.
Really?
Throwing chairs at us. It was wild. I love, those
Fond
guys know
memories.
I still talk to them. But like, I mean, this was not the theater.
No.
This was not like, Broadway theater. This was run by basically outfit guys throwing chairs,
Right.
Great stuff.
Sure.
Fun stuff. Great 4 years. I was like, I'm done with this. Started doing stand up a lot. And then moved eventually with my now wife, then fiance, who's a nurse. She got a job with a traveling nurse agency, and we moved to LA to start a cooking show. My cousin's a screenwriter out there and a filmmaker. And we're still working on stuff to this day, but he's like, let's just shoot some cooking shit and we'll shop it around. And I got reps and I got connections. So we started doing that. Tried hard at that for like 3 years and ended up getting close many, many times. And then I woke up one morning, I'm like, I need the paper. I've been, kind of interloping as a chef. Right. I need the paper. So I enrolled in culinary school that morning, spent the last year or so in LA, working full time and going to school full time. Then I graduated, moved back home, started teaching cooking lessons around Chicago as well as working I was a corporate chef for a large mortgage company for 4 years too. And it's fed like prepped, cooked, served 300, 200 people a day in an open kitchen for 4 years. And that was really, I think, what solidified everything. Between the Tony and Tina's like table work we would do, which taught us 6-7 shows a week. 4 years, I did thousands of those shows, just working 35 tables a night, being funny, being quick.
Crowd work. And then when I went to the Guaranteed Rate, which is the mortgage company, like Rate Field, like that was one of their big amenities was, like food, right? So I was just talking to it. It was like chopping an onion, talking to people. You know what I mean? It was like all kind of built up to this moment. But while I was in LA, I started auditioning for Food Network Star. So it took me 4 tries. I finally got on. And I went on finally. My son was a year and a half. We were living, just bought our first house in Elmwood Park. It was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let me just do this one more time. My wife's like, I don't know, dude. Like, my wife's very pragmatic, very realistic. She's very like, this is, you always got to work. You always got to make money, but I support your dreams. Sure. I believe in you, but if shit doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. She's a realist. Yeah.
She's a realist.
You need that.
Dude, totally. Yeah. She's a neighborhood girl. She's she's Italian by proxy. She grew up only in Italian neighborhoods with Italian people and girls, but she's not.
She's not.
Her parents are from Kentucky, like the hollers of Kentucky.
Ew. I'm scared.
Which are like, my mother.
I watched a lot of Justified, which is filmed in the hollers of Kentucky.
Dude.
So the whole moonshine, Raylan Givens type stuff, I'm a big fan of it.
It's just like, they're like Italians, right?
They sort of are, yeah.
They love food. They love arguing. They're loud. They're vibrant, and they occasionally stab each other. This is a fact.
Hatfield McCoy type shit.
Dude, real stuff. So, she was like, dude, you sent in this video. I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean, She's like, I think our lives are going to change forever. I think we should talk about this. I go, bullshit. I go, all I've been doing is kind of failing at this career path, right? Like, well, I'm gonna fine. If this doesn't work out, I got people at the rich guys that I'm feeding every day that want to open up a deli or something. I got investors. I'll be happy. I'm in a band. I can perform at nights. I can do whatever I want.
You have some plan Bs.
Plan Bs. I always had a plan B. You know what I mean? Hence the food thing. Like I always loved. Like I'd still love to. I mean, I've opened sandwich shops since my career in TV started, but I like to get back at it. But yeah, she's like, all right, send it in. You'll see. And I sent it in. I got a call like 2 days later, and then I was on a plane a day later, and then I knew I was cast 2 days after that. And then I was whisked away to go film in LA, in New York. And you're on a reality show for 2 months away from your family, no contact. My son had no idea where I went because you can't articulate that to a small person. And I went there knowing like I have all this. I was ripped. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was like my skills were ripped. I was chubby as hell. I looked terrible. If you could go back and stream it,
I do remember
HBO,
it. Yeah.
Like,
I was about to say ripped wasn't how I would have fucking described it.
I was ripping my shirt from Burlington Coat Factory that I got the
ripping
night
open
before.
some fucking Twinkies. Yeah.
I did. I had this big, or you could see it. You could Google it.
No, you're a doughy fuck
Dude,
back
it is
then.
like a double X. It's a shirt from Burlington Coat because that's all we could afford. My wife's like, you're getting 2 shirts for the show. And it was like a Columbia shirt. So it had like the vents, the vents.
Sure,
It was that like rip stop material.
It's not flattering. No, it wasn't a flattering material.
There was not a lot of cardio
Like how
going
I'm throwing
on.
stones 6'5", 270.
No, you're
Might
beautiful.
As well throw. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I did all that. I was like, I'm going on with this sandwich king point of view. I'm going to teach people the culinary arts through the artistry of sandwich in the fundamentals of cooking. And I was like, I can do this. Nobody's claimed this yet.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Because everyone loves sandwiches. It's the most approachable thing to
every
eat,
culture,
review, make, whatever.
I mean, name me a country in the world that doesn't have some form of a handheld,
Right. Yeah.
Sandwich. I was like, dude, this is endless. I could make this work. So I knew after that point of view, at that point, I was like, my gums were flapping good.
Right.
My culinary chops were honed in for sure.
Yeah.
So I went to school. I worked professionally for, I don't know, collectively at that point, 15 years. So I was ready for this stuff.
So physically, you're well.
Physically, yeah, I could have done a couple, air squats every morning when I got out of bed. Maybe some push-ups, some air.
I won't do that again.
No, I love it, but that's who I was up to that point. You know what I mean? Well, I did lose. I was thin when I was Tony.
All right,
I had to lose the weight.
That's right. You went, so it's peaks and valleys. When I don't mean to back up too much, but when you said that you finally got your paper and you went to culinary school, was that big of a deal for you? Like Like, I don't know how much I put on culinary school, and every time I speak to a chef, I get different answers. Like, culinary school almost prepared them for something outside of the kitchen, more so than how to, chiffonade basil, so do I need to go to culinary school to become successful in your industry?
I think it helps to have a baseline the baseline knowledge of French technique, which is what the
mother sauces and stuff.
I mean, just so you know that you can draw upon these things, whether you're teaching somebody to make something, you can articulate about it accurately, or you're in like a competition show, you need to draw from this kind of catalog of whatever. As baseline is like mothers, you know what I mean? Like they respect knife cuts and all that stuff. For me, I went in there with a very good baseline knowledge of cooking just because I've done it for a long time with the deli and everything else before that through high school and college and all that. So I was like, I'm already better kind of than some of these, you know what I mean? But I was also paying for it, and it wasn't cheap for somebody who didn't have much money and was just kind of grinding it out in LA. So that motivated me a lot, but also like this was like the moment. This was like the sea change in my life where it's like, I need to do this to like moving to LA wasn't enough. And I didn't want to come home from LA without something tangible.
Legitimizing it. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm so glad I did it. But did it make me like a better chef? I think it made me a more well-rounded chef, you know, a more confident chef. But I think if you got it, you got it.
I got to ask it in a different way then. And it's very easy for a guy that's never been pressured to go to it to ask these types of questions. The whole thing's going to fall apart. It doesn't matter to us.
Construction here.
Yeah, exactly.
They spent all the money downstairs on the soft serve machine.
Yeah, which by the way was very
delicious.
good.
I met the cream twins. What are they called? The cream
the cream jeans.
The cream jeans. They're two guys.
Cream team. Yeah.
The cream team.
And so he got to meet the cream team. This is such a fucking great place. We're going to get back to it in 1 second. But to walk in here, you come walking in with, like I said, an Italian beef kit. And you're like, you have any place to warm this up? I was like, we have the full-blown kitchen.
The whole kitchen.
The kitchen's pretty cool. And then I was like, do you feel like having a frozen treat?
Yeah.
And then we have the ice cream machine right there.
Man, it wasn't
Let's
even
play
like
some golf if you'd like to. You know, it's a pretty cool little place, no?
And it wasn't just like frozen yogurt or ice cream. It was frozen custard.
It's custard, yeah.
Higher butterfat content, which obviously you guys need around here.
Yes.
There is anything you want here, it's here. This is unbelievable. Like if I was out of college and like I saw a listing for, I mean, do you even need to post job listings for Barstool?
I don't know.
No way, dude. Because there'd be a line out the door. I mean, there's something to look at everywhere. So much stuff going on. Sorry. I mean, you already know all this stuff. And they know
there's
watching.
Distractions, there is. But my point with Culinary Institute, and I'm not putting it down by any stretch of the imagination, but I think if you had somebody that all of a sudden said, you know what, I want to learn how to cook. I'm going to go to the Culinary Institute. They go, they do their thing, and they graduate. And then I have a guy who said, I've been cooking in delis and sandwich shops for the past 10 years, and he goes into the job market at the same time as the guy who has no experience in a real kitchen. I'm taking the other guy first. I don't give a fuck about your Culinary Institute. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I need people who are used to, I find that kitchens, particularly busy kitchens, are some of the most high pressure jobs in the world.
Yeah.
I spend my time when I was doing some line chef work, I was grinding my teeth the whole goddamn time.
You need a mouth guard.
It's real. Yeah, I needed a goddamn mouth guard. It's real deal pressure. And then now that I'm sort of back into the food thing with You Got to Try This, which is the most popular podcast in the world as far as I'm concerned, people are like, do you want to open up a restaurant? I'm like, God, no. Because the more I talk to people in the industry, nothing kills your love for food like opening up a restaurant. Do you kind of agree with that?
Well, you just associate the anxiety and the stress of operating a low margin, high risk business with eating. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you pour yourself into a personalized menu. And I had several places called Pork and Mindy's, which is a fast casual concept of creative barbecue, sandwiches, tots, NATOs, we called them, which was like a blended, almost like because it's short for tornado. Because there was the only weather system left that people haven't capitalized in with
the avalanches.
So stupid.
Yes, exactly.
Then we had like toddies, you know, but it was a great concept, poorly run from the beginning, overexpanded way too quick. So much capital was and I was just trying to operate the place and make great food and great menus. And like, I'd walk in there after a year or two, I'd walk in there and I'd be like grinding my teeth. Cause no matter what, I'd have to disappear for 2 weeks and go film the show. That's pretty much sustaining this whole concept by the marketing that I'm bringing. Meanwhile, I come back after 2 and I'm like, and like, I don't ever, and that's why Mauro Provisions was so important to me to start. Cause it was just like me at my kitchen island. And I'm like, I'm going to put my name on something and I'm going to control every aspect of this and grow it so slow and organically that it's bound to succeed.
That's why it gets a little weird. So this is the barbecue chip dust.
Yeah.
So we're basically pulsing barbecue potato chips, which we all know are in the top 5 potato chip. I mean, it's not a salt and vinegar, which kind of stays up.
We have salt and vinegar chip
Do you
dust
have this too? Okay.
Sour cream and chive,
but barbecue
cheddar jalapeno.
chip dust, like you can tell that this is stuff that you wanted to make yourself. The jardinera that you have here called the Honey G.
Yeah.
This is the pepper relish.
Yeah.
So what makes this different from other pepper relishes that I
that's packed in grade A honey. So it's a medium spiced brunoise, high pepper, low veg content jardinera blend. So you get the oil in there too, but then it's topped off about 50-60% of the jar with grade A honey. That we've created a way to do that. And it's not easy.
That's blood flow for this old man to be. How am I going to get this onto a plane tonight?
Up your ass.
There it is.
You
I'm
gotta
going to
boot
be
it,
moving
buddy.
this thing. Yeah. And then what's the black powder?
So that's like a way for me to create a char on a steak, right? To help mimic those 1200 degree infrared,
Right.
broilers in ovens they use at Gibson's and everywhere. So this has got black poppy seeds, black sesame seeds crushed up, turbinado sugar, dehydrated garlic, dehydrated onion, chunky, sticky stuff. That's flavorful. A little bit of turbinado sugar in there.
Yeah, so we're going to get almost like a brulee, almost, right?
Little extra caramelization.
Yeah.
And crushed black pepper. So it's like it sticks to the steaks. Like I'll do tenderloin. I did it for Christmas. I did it for a big dinner I did at the Ronald McDonald House a couple weeks ago for all the families there.
Nice.
And I'll coat a tenderloin, prime time. You can even choice whatever.
Yeah.
Tenderloin in black powder rub. I have a gallon of it at home. We have food service containers too. So we have a robust food service business as well. So if anybody has a restaurant, you need a gallon of this stuff. We got it.
Let's go.
But I just roll it in there, put it in the fridge, elevate it on a wire rack in a sheet pan overnight, and just let it do its thing. And then I do a reverse sear, low and slow, 200 degrees for like 4 hours till it hits 125. And it's like you bring it out, you let it rest. It's like you almost don't even need to sear it again.
Right.
Because it gets so dark and like concentrated the flavor. It's brilliant. You can do the same thing if you cut them down to fillets too. I did that for Christmas.
I think your rep is on listening and stuff like that. Send some to New York. That's what I'm saying. Send some to New York.
I
can't fit that much.
No,
up
I'll
my
send
ass,
you
even though I've been
I'll
in
send you a
person.
giant care package. It's what we do.
Yeah, I'm dying to try it all.
I send the housewives everything. Sebastian Bach is a big fan.
Is he really?
He was on
Sebastian
my
Bach's
team
the guy.
last. Dude, you want to go back? Who's the worst cook, but also
That's what
the
I
best,
asked.
dude?
Yeah,
Circle back.
Yeah, here it is. All full
Look
circle.
at this.
Sorry.
Look at this. Time is a flat circle.
It is.
It's Sebastian Bach from
Is
Skid
it?
Row. He was on my team. I was hell bent on having him on my team. I mean, come on, dude. It's like, I had the tape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
So 2 things. Terrible cook. He would admit it, who tried so hard and wanted to be like, he tried so hard. And when I had to send him home, I've sent like kids home from like kids cooking competitions who probably didn't deserve it and like thought they're, they're going to finally win money to get the pool,
right.
And I send them home and they're crying. I'm like, hey, you got to go, kid. I'm like, welcome to life, kid.
All right.
I know you're only 8, but it's going to
Sebastian
get worse.
Bach.
Daddy couldn't send him home, dude. It was like so hard. He's like, listen up, man.
Yeah.
I didn't. Oh, man,
that's his
if
voice
I really
too.
going
Yeah,
home.
he was top of the food chain. I think my wife had a tattoo of him in her bikini line at some point too.
For sure.
Yeah, so I don't even want to root for that guy to succeed. To be honest with you,
The hair,
majestic.
Yeah. And so whatever, we keep in contact. He's just that's like the coolest part of this job, especially with these celebrity seasons, is like you befriend these people that you either grew up watching or currently watching.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or that you respect. And it was not 2 weeks after we wrapped. He's like, I'm coming to Chicago, man. You got to come to my show. And he's like, this Chardonnay. He just do videos for me. He's
awesome.
like, this Chardonnay. He couldn't say it. I sent him shirts too. He still couldn't say it. This gardenia is the fucking best. And he's like, I'm coming to Chicago.
Row.
Meanwhile, it was like this place called Island Lake, Illinois, which was neither an island nor near a lake.
Right.
But it was like a biker bar with whatever. They played with Quiet Riot. And I brought my band, 3 guys from my band, and we went and saw backstage access. Sebastian Bach
for that,
dude. And it's like, I get it. Like you're doing it.
Yeah,
you're still doing it. The mic, he's famous. This is a great story. So he spins the mic with connected to the mic cable.
Right.
I mean, some guys do it. Roger Daltrey, right?
Yeah.
But when Sebastian does it, it's like 28 feet of slack.
Oh, really?
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like
a lighting fixtures.
Oh, it's like it's like powering Island Lake right now. I mean, it's like a windmill, and you see these guys in his band, right? Because he tours as solo, not as Skid Row, but he does all the Skid Row songs, and it's just like right. He's gone wild, and he's doing it, and it's like the solos.
It's gone wild,
and it's like getting close, dude. You see it get close to the bassist, the guitarist, and then we go backstage, and it's like, whatever. There's some pizzas back there. There's like, some a bottle of warm red wine. He's like, want some wine? And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. And the band's like so excited to like party. We're thinking we're like, where's the fish and the jack? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
We've heard the stories.
Yeah, so have I. Yeah. The Led Zeppelin
yeah,
stories.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where's the carp? And where's the Jack Daniels?
Yeah, in the second floor of the hotel.
It's not
room.
like that.
Yeah.
We're just shooting the shit, But then the guys walked in from the band, and then the bassist walked in. It's like, they look like they've been, on tour for all great shape. I mean, to do this stuff, you got to be in good shape. But he's got this big, huge bandage on his nose. And I was like, what happened? And Sebastian's like, whoops. I was like, you've been doing this like 40 years.
He's Kill Bill in it, the whole thing. Yeah, okay. So you got him between the eyes.
Oh, God.
Sebastian Bach, number one with the bullet as far as being the worst celebrity guest cook on your thing.
And I wanted him to be so good. Yeah. I put a lot of effort into him. He hit a couple things, but.
Can you go back to your roots right now and tell me what makes a good sandwich? Jeff Mauro, I think that I would ask your advice on a couple of things.
Okay.
And I think sandwiches probably come number one. So you probably have it at the ready. Jeff Mauro, what do you need to make a good sandwich?
I always start with the bread. It's either got to be very fresh or appropriately treated. Like we did with the Toronto rolls, right? With the beef sandwich, right? We ship them frozen. You can't, ship fresh bread. People are like, oh, why would you do that? First of all, did that? It's perfect, right? But because we treated it well, we introduced it to some fat and some high heat, dry air, right? So putting in the toaster oven or the hot oven just kind of reinvigorates it. Same thing with like a bun or even like white bread that may be a little past its prime. A little butter on the outside, a little griddle.
So you're saying that for people who can't get Brooklyn bagels,
yes,
for people who can't go to Calandro's for the Italian bread, you can still do the best with what you got, other than just ripping open the lender's bag and putting some cream cheese on it.
Yeah,
right?
or even like dry toasting.
Yes,
white bread, right? Scraping the roof of your mouth. I'm like a little introduction of fat and some heat always creates a great foundation for the sandwich. And then after that, it's proper ratios. Right? Don't overstuff it. I mean, we're still like, I think we're kind of coming off it, but I feel like even like the breakfast sandwich we were talking about earlier, I'm like, that sounds like too much on a breakfast. Like, it's like too much stuff sometimes. It's a detriment to a
bacon, egg, and cheese,
bite.
Salt, pepper, ketchup on a roll is what got me through 50 years of life. And now in the last 4, I need a giardiniera aioli on here while somebody is pinching my ear. And I need a longanisa now. I always, and I'm part of the problem because I like them. I do. I like them, but it's starting to get a little bit saturated.
Yeah.
That type of market.
Because you got to stand out in the crowd. You got to differentiate yourself. And people love menu lines, call outs, right? This is, locally made longanisa,
of course.
Johnny's English muffin with Slaggle Farms bacon. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I love that. And that's what I love about food culture right now, that there's all these smaller producers that make really high quality stuff, smaller batches. It just feels less factory made, right? But meanwhile, like these guys are, they're factories now. But so just proper ratios in something that has a variance of texture that's exciting to the teeth in the mouth in that bite down. And what I mean by that, it's like you can have just a sloppy Joe,
one note.
But what sounds better, like a sloppy Joe on a mass-produced bun, right? How about I take the same sloppy Joe, I take that mass-produced bun, right? Little bit of olive oil and a flat nonstick griddle. Just give it golden brown kiss. Couple pickles. They could be artisanal pickles.
Sure.
Or pickled jalapenos or a little giardiniera or whatever. Something with some crunch and acidity or spice. Right? And that's it. I'm not saying like, and then I'd probably throw a little, maybe like just from the canister, I keep it in my pan, little crispy onions, little fried onions.
That's what I'm saying. There's always got to be that texture pop off of it, like a contrast in textures that makes sandwiches special. But would you agree with me that they're not all good ideas? Like, I personally think that I love a good biscuit. Give me a cat's head biscuit. I'll slather it with honey butter and I'll cover it in gravy. I'll do whatever you want me to do with a biscuit. I'm a biscuit bitch. but I just don't think it makes a good sandwich. Like
terrible sandwich. Never. I don't have any recipe. Maybe a couple throughout the years that the stunts or whatever we call them on the shows, Sandwich King. But like, I will never consciously order a biscuit sandwich nor make you a biscuit sandwich in my kitchen.
We're the same thing.
Because what happens, right?
Bagels get difficult too.
Bagels are very dense, and you got the hole in the middle, and then shit squirting up the hole, like you know,
exactly.
It's the Bellage. That's short for Bellagio. Did you get that?
Get it. Yes, I did get that.
Yeah, there's definitely inappropriate vehicles for things, but like biscuit to me, you take a bite of it, and it's like. Right, and it's just log jams in your esophagus.
But conversely, if you have a plate of fried chicken, a crock of sweet cream butter, and a hot fucking biscuit, dude, try to pull me away.
I can't
try to pull me. But if you're asking me to split that biscuit, put the thing in there with the bacon chicken. Marmalade or something like that, I just don't think it works. It's a knife and fork.
No, it's
a knife and fork thing to me.
It's a short dough, right? It's not meant for structure, right? It's meant for buttery crumbly, right? Melt in your mouth while simultaneously like drying you out in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's why you need the butter and the stuff. I mean, I've lived with my in-laws many years over the years. And like I said, you know, my mother-in-law's from Hazard, Kentucky, one of 17 kids.
Dukes of Hazard.
Amen,
there
dude.
it is.
Real stuff. Same cast iron skillet that her grandma had, that her mom had, that she'd make every Sunday. Pork chops, little light flour dredge fried, sausage gravy with the pork chop drippings, homemade buttermilk biscuits using the flour they got, you know, White Lily flour from, or Hudson cream, either one, depending on what they get. But good all-purpose flour. It's like she could do it. Boom. And it's just boom. She'd flip it out, right? Rough. Rough. And then we tear at the biscuits with the gravy, with, you know, it's always some kind of jam from some Amish place they stop by. Yeah. Butter that's been room temperature for 16 years, you know.
I don't know how it does it, but yeah.
And it's like, to me, and then you split that open, you have a little fried egg, you dip, like you could almost make every bite with your fork and with, you know, dragging it through things like a sandwich, but as a composed sandwich
doesn't work.
But one of my favorite bites, I'm with you. I'm a biscuit bitch too.
We are.
God. Let's open up a successful biscuit sandwich shop called Biscuit Bitches.
Yeah. But is there something that you don't like on so just mentioning that was just one of my own bugaboos. Yeah, but when I had Conan on, I'd ask, I didn't know his history with it, how he's against raw, just sliced red onion.
Yeah,
he's against that. He's a non-onion guy. Yep. Is there something? And again, like I trust you. I'm not an onion guy as well, and I wasn't doing that to kiss Scott's ass. I don't think that it really adds something. You give me any kind of a cooked, fried, caramelized. Give me something with it, and it changes it. But I very rarely do raw onion on a sandwich. Is there something that you think doesn't belong on a sandwich most of the time?
I agree with that. Like I'll always omit the onion from a sandwich order, especially
even
raw.
On a Chicago dog. Is that one of ones where that's a little different? The grated onion sort of,
a little small diced onions, a little different. But I try to omit it. You know, I'm talking to people. You know what I mean? I feel like it. Same thing with garlic. I'm very sensitive. You know, growing up literally in a sea of garlic, I can't like it. Too much garlic, it's overused, and it just lives with me for 2 days. And I'm like, you know, farting freaking, you know, farting cloves.
Yeah, it's like, where'd Paul Sorvino come from? Yeah, but is it one of those things? Do you agree with me then? I don't know why, but I'm trying to develop this friendship with you, so we're a simpatico. Garlic is way overused. God bless Emerald, because when he was bamming garlic and everyone was getting hard for it, he used the crowds thing. But now people think that they need to put in scrambled eggs. And I'm like, we don't need fucking garlic.
Garlic does not belong on the breakfast plate at all.
Yeah.
Even I'm same thing with onions. Like I don't want onions in my omelet. But to go back to your question, yes, onions. But you know what? It's probably controversial, which I think is inappropriate a lot of times. Mayonnaise.
You don't like mayonnaise on a sandwich?
I don't mind mayonnaise on some sandwiches.
Okay.
I like flavored mayonnaise, right? I like the mayonnaise having, you know, a marriage with something complementary, but also that tones down that eggy creaminess, which sometimes just hits me too hard and takes over. Maybe it's because my old man was like in love with mayonnaise, so we would have subs all the time, and he'd be like putting on it every bite.
I thought it was the opposite because of the Italian thing.
Dude, he loved mayonnaise, and we like it all backfired on like all of us. Like I'm an oil and vinegar guy. Like every Italian sub, a lot of sub. Like I'm a Dijon. Like if you can get me like one of the best sandwiches, like a Parisian ham, right, on a baguette, with I want to bleed, my sinuses from the Dijon.
Oh, from the Dijon, absolutely,
or the butter too. But like for me, it's like the Dijon anyway, right?
Couple of cornichons, fucking Dijon. I'm putting the bear on there anyway. I'm just looking to say bear because I like the way I pronounce butter. Sign me up all the time, but just no mayo for you.
Yeah,
I mean. Unless
like a ham sandwich with mayo skeeves me out.
Really?
This is what I do love mayo on, and when it's appropriately applied.
Okay.
Like in appropriate quantities, like a fried chicken sandwich with iceberg lettuce and tomato.
Okay.
Like a funky wrapped Whopper. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Do I know what you mean?
A floppy Whopper.
Yeah, I had one to the room 2 nights ago.
Shut up.
Yeah. My wife is not a Burger King person. Like we don't do a lot of fast food. But my family, no one in my family likes Burger King. And I grew up walking distance from Burger King on Knapp Street. So a Whopper with cheese, no onions, and everything else on there. So it's mayo, pickles, tomatoes.
It's like liquid.
Sign me and it's so sweet. And it makes these inappropriate mayo like to where your friends would be like like that type of stuff. So I'm on board with you. I'm okay with mayo more so. But like, do you do a Mediterranean tuna salad or you're okay with tuna salad with mayo?
Can't do it.
You don't like an egg salad or a tuna salad with mayo?
I've never had a bite of tuna fish salad or egg salad in my life. Chicken salad I love. I make the best chicken salad.
With mayo.
But I can't eat anybody else's chicken salad.
Okay.
Same thing with like any mayonnaise-based.
Potato salad. I was about to get to there right now.
I can't eat anybody. I can eat my own potato salad when I know what goes into it. But if like someone brings that like foil-covered plastic bowl.
What if it's not a mayo base? What if I'm a good German potato salad?
Love it.
Okay.
Totally.
Yeah, okay.
But I skeeve with the creams. You know what I mean?
I can't. So just so you know, this episode is dropping the week after we had the most
brought to you by Hellman's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Call the Dukes people. We're out. The person who probably has the pickiest eater I've ever met. His name is Chris Clemmer. He works for Barstool Sports in New York.
I saw that. Like he's very small. I mean, you can see
nothing.
Why. Nothing.
He eats nothing. Yeah, you can see through him too. And a very nice guy, so bright, hard worker. Everything is, but his palate is fucking wacky. So to hear you say that you don't like mayo, it's not that big of a deal because I could see it. I'm a mayo guy, as you might have been able to tell.
I could tell. You tell. Look, you are a walking jar of mayo.
You give me an English muffin, still hot, little bit of mayo, thinly sliced boar's head ham, and a slice of American cheese.
What's your boar's head ham? What do you do?
What's my boar's head?
What boar's head ham?
I do the regular one. Yeah,
like
so I don't.
The branded ham.
Yes, exactly. I don't go to the honey ham, the maple ham, the low sodium options. And Thumans, listen, we have it all around us. But if I see boar's head and I got a guy who cuts it so thin and only has one side,
shout out,
where it's turning into water as you're sort of taking it out of the paper. With, by the way, Chef Greeny had hooked me up with that New School American cheese. Holy shit, that's a great cheese with some mayo on a hot English muffin. Come on, you son of a bitch!
It's great stuff,
right? You'd rather a little Dijon, or you rather a little brown mustard with that.
See, like I guess the only other thing, and I'm not saying I don't like mayonnaise. It just needs to be a specific situation for me, like a BLT, crispy bacon, crisp iceberg, soft white bread, tomato. I like a schmear of mayo on there. Okay. But again, I think it was just growing up, my dad with the mayo. My dad had these like meat hook hands that were like just the gnarliest, biggest, like, and it was just dripping from his hands. It is like, and he's such like a boy's guy. But when my dad started getting down, it was that. And then coming up in the deli world where so mut people come up like extra mayo, and you're like, and it was never enough for them. And I'd put it, and then I'd have to watch them eat. Right. And it was just Puddin' City, right? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Old people with a fruit cup type before it goes in. Yeah. Yeah, I could see it. I'm still going to eat a lot of mayo.
Such a visceral thing. And then egg salad. I think I've made so much tuna salad and egg salad without, I'd have to have, I'm like, someone come and please try this, you know?
Right.
because I don't like hard-boiled eggs. I love eggs in every situation. I just don't like hard-boiled eggs. But I think for me, especially with egg salad, is the visceral audio, the sound of the mixing.
Yeah, the ASMR.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes when they're doing it in big quantities and they wear those rubber gloves that they also wear when they're delivering calves, because sometimes they have to push one calf back into the cow vagina.
It's not ready.
Bring the other one in.
They got to do a little switcheroo.
So those same gloves, hopefully wash, and then they go in there and they just mix a lot of egg salad. I could see where you're coming
with that bear net and the hair net and the arm gloves.
Yeah, when you see where the sausage is made, I think it does really, it ruins you for a while. I worked at a Chinese restaurant and it got me for years.
I've been to, I'm not even exaggerating, 12 various meat, sausage, hot dog factories in my day.
Okay.
It's still, I mean, I've seen the sausage being made. It's not that bad compared to the guy, our friendly delicatessenaire right behind the case, shoulder deep in a vat.
I can tell you, when I go to a place, I can recognize immediately that it's the type of place that I feel comfortable eating. Like there's certain things around the grease traps and whatnot in restaurants, the hoods and stuff, and you can tell a lot about a restaurant. So when these people are working hard at the end of each day, when they just want to go home and instead they scrub that place immaculate, it makes all the difference to me.
So it's just attention to that detail and the respect for your work environment.
Right.
I've shot in a lot of places, right? Just with the Sandwich King. I mean, we did 5 seasons. We'd shoot at 3 places each episode, whatever. That's a lot of, and if you know a camera crew, I mean, I've gone to places where they didn't even do a once over.
Right.
And they knew 6 people with cameras are coming into your place and producers and talent and everything to showcase your restaurant or shop. And they didn't even I mean, it's astounding what I've seen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's it's such a big thing that's I think frequently underappreciated.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. Talk to me about Chicago. Where do you rank Chicago as far as a food town, a food city? And again, we'll go back to one of your Food Network guys. When I had asked Zimmern, he was like, not only is New York the greatest food city in the world, Queens could be considered the greatest food city in the world, being only one of the 5 boroughs. I'm pretty myopic being an East Coast guy myself, even though I've been around. So in your extensive travels and infinite knowledge, where do you rank Chicago as far as being a food city?
I mean, it's definitely top 3, if not top 2. It's such a hard, subjective, perspective, right? Obviously, you're saying you're myopic. You're born there. I'm born there. I spent a lot of time in New York. I lived in LA for 4 years, but that was, 20 years ago.
Yes.
So it was a different food culture out there. But that was the height of Jonathan Gold and Chow Hounds and all these kind of the influx of people talking about food on a major level on the internet. This was pre-social media, but still robust. And that was amazing to me. New York's amazing to me so often. So it's almost I have to break it off. I think.
By the way,
if I were to choose one for me,
in your heart, it's Chicago. I don't want anyone to get angry at you for answering this question. But go ahead. I'm trying to support you here. But if you had to go, where is Chicago?
If we have to go to eat here,
no. If we had to rank Chicago,
I would do. All right, fine.
Just the United States.
Just the United States. I'll probably do New York, Chicago, LA.
Okay. Now
I think that's fair. And I'm not but I don't eat out but I just had the best meal of the year in New York 2 weeks ago.
Where'd you go?
Corner Store.
Yeah, Corner Store's the shit.
Fuck, dude. It was me, Jeffrey, Katie, and Sonny.
Can you get me in? Or?
Dude, guess who walks in right next to us as we're talking about Landman? Taylor Sheridan and his whole rap crew. And I'm like, Jeffrey, that's fucking Taylor. He's like, who? I'm we were literally talking about just quoting Landman, which I'm a big fan of. I love all his stuff.
I'm so glad Ellie Larder I think she's fantastic in that thing.
This show is preposterous, but it's also ridiculous. The best dialogue.
It's the best show in the world. By the way, they just totally abandoned anything that has to do with getting oil. Yeah. At least I felt I was learning something the first fucking thing.
I was just I could be running drugs before you know it. And he walked. It was just a New York, special New York moment for me, you know, but the food was so good. I mean, just a great, you know, perfectly prepared porterhouse we had. They got their little pizza bites or pizza rolls there. They were just like, okay, let's, and then you eat it and you're like, this is, shit. Damn it. Why didn't I think of this? Like, why am I not like grinding pepperoni and putting it in everything? It's just so great. Everything we had was top tier.
Is it a better question to ask then? Because I think for someone to say New York, Chicago, and LA, it's, you know, very sensible to say maybe people will fight with you about LA. Is a better question to ask, is there a town in the United States that doesn't get enough love as being an elite food town?
I don't know. I feel like I'm only in those places. Like,
right.
I don't go to like a lot of the smaller market city. Yeah. Did you love it?
I thought that Nashville was going to be down the middle Southern cuisine.
Yeah.
And we got to spend a little bit of time there between NASCAR and Barcelona's the bar there and a couple other gigs that we were doing down there. I was so pleasantly surprised. I'm floored with what has happened to Philly over the past 20 years or so to become like a really legitimate food town. I was actually disappointed in Charlotte. Like, New Orleans is synonymous with being a food town. Maybe it doesn't have that width, but it has that depth of what they do really well. Like, every time I go someplace and I just run into like someplace upstate and they have like 3 or 4 places, I love what this culture, this bullshit stuff that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, everybody, I'm eating a sandwich here. Like, you know, the stuff that you started me on fucking doing is making people make better food in places that you normally wouldn't get it. So it's a positive, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I see that. I've done some stuff with some universities and stuff. Like I went to Bradley University, whatever, and they just opened up a new food hall. And you see, like, instead of redoing the dorms, which they desperately needed to do, they're like, we have to redo the food hall. Yeah. Because that's what these kids come in here. No, like, I knew about food because I was obsessed and I worked in it by the time I went to college, you know? So I was like, I walked to the cafeteria day. I'm like, I ain't going back here. I go to the store and I buy my meat, my cheese, my bread, my mini fridge next to my beer. You know what I mean? I find my spots. But like, kids are so immersed in, young people are so immersed in like what good food, like they crave it way more. It's such like this global accessibility that, you know, nothing is, everything's accessible in that way where you expect better, pretty food that's you could photograph, and talk about.
Yeah. Everything's got to be pretty photogenic.
Yeah.
When you talk to me about an Italian upbringing, you were cooking since you were a little guy, right? Were you in the kitchen as a little guy?
Not as much. Not as like a little guy.
Were you frying an egg in high school?
Yeah, I mean, I'd put together some stuff in high school for sure. Yeah,
because I sometimes wonder. Speaking of Jersey Jerry, he grew up his Italian nanny, right? Not his nonna. He called her a nanny. And
he was a rich Italian then, huh? He had a nanny?
No. He called his grandma nanny. I apologize. And he was like, since I had so many people doing it for me growing up, it's something that I never really wanted to do. Do you think your son is going to be one of those guys that wants to make a great sandwich, or he's going to be like, you know what, Dad, fuck you. I'm putting peanut butter and jelly on a biscuit and I don't love you anymore. Like, no, I'm saying, is there something like, do you think it's good for the next generation or detrimental?
I think it's good because he's independent and he's like into his macros,
right?
And like,
lifting
weights and like protein and stuff,
right?
And keeping, you know, which is a like after 5 generations of, you know, borderline morbid obesity in my family, right? This is great. Like, we've broken the cycle.
I'm joking around about his obesity because Jeff is in very good shape, in case you're not watching this on YouTube, whereas I'm not. So like, to see your son, who is also a musician, right? And he's got a lot of gigs and stuff like that.
He's got things. He's got to keep his cardio up.
And every now and again, he sees Sebastian Bach. He'll walk out to the limo with a different one. He does try to kind of, you know, get that striation.
You gotta get that striation, bro.
Yeah. Does your wife cook, or is it embarrassing?
She cooks great. She's a great baker, a great cook. She's cooking right now. She's making, like, you know, I don't know, some beef and broccoli, whatever. She keeps it very healthy. She's very health conscious.
Good.
It was up to me. I just travel a lot and I'm gone, whatever. I'm running 3 businesses and stuff, so I'm not cooking as much. But now she's back to work 3 days a week. So I'm cooking like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I'm a little heavy-handed with stuff too. Sometimes it can be a little extra flavorful. But my son is, he's a reheater. He protein, but he's very in tune to quality. And that's what I think through our travels as a family, in our culture, in our house, like quality is key. Not
prosciutto parm.
Little boom, just like if it's not thinly sliced, he doesn't want it. The burger's not medium rare. He doesn't want it.
Make you
Send
proud.
it back. If he was like 9 years old, he sent back a burger. I was like, this.
What a fucking jerk. I'm not going to keep you too much longer, so I'm going to end with the questions. I told you I had some questions. In case you thought I was checking my phone, I actually went to the last person that I spoke to these about, so I'm going to Jersey Jerry. Same exact questions I ask everybody.
Okay.
Jersey Jerry is a recovering... First it was heroin, but then it was crack. So he had gone to rehab for heroin. When he got out, he kicked heroin, but he decided just to dabble, got hooked on crack, went down to 130 pounds, rehab again, and now he's totally clean, part owner of a rehab thing, so he's helping get other people clean. So even though like we joked around and his thing won't hit until next week, what goes best with crack? Like what dip goes, like that type of stuff. Yeah. I had to change this first question.
Okay.
So this is a long thing to the question. You go to fast food order, drunk and sober. Okay. So whichever one you'd like to give to me, because it's different for me every time.
All right. Drunk.
Give me a drunk fast food order. How about that?
A drunk fast food order. All right. This is I drive up to McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. You get a car to McDonald's.
I don't go through the drive-thru.
Okay.
I walk in like a human being.
Like a gentleman.
Like a gentleman.
Hold on. Like a fucking gentleman.
Like a fucking gentleman.
Right.
A double quarter pounder with cheese.
That's aggressive.
No pickles. No onions. Ensures freshness. Okay. That's it. Large fry. I wait for it. I see him. I'll wait. That's why I go in.
Fresh. Okay.
I want them fresh. Yes. I don't do this every day, mind you.
Uh-huh.
This is probably my same sober order too, because that drunk guy would not be this nuanced.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then just as a side, 20 piece. They go, which sauces would you like? I go, give me the sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to hopscotch that bitch till it's brown.
Yeah, it's like when you went to bowling alley, give me the suicide. I want the Fanta, the Coke, the ginger ale, the whole deal.
They're still getting away with calling that. I would think
you think they change it around.
I think they change it around, but no, it's still popular.
Yeah.
And then obviously a Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm drunk, I'm probably going to get a Big Mac. Okay, everything on it. From the drive-thru, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Is this drunk or sober? This is drunk now.
Yeah.
Big Mac through the drive-thru. Obviously, I'm not driving.
Yes,
though, right?
We set this up. You have a car.
This is an Uber Comfort.
Yeah, I'm taking you.
This is the Uber Comfort.
Yeah.
No, I probably order the black because, obviously I'm a star of stage, film, and television.
Sure, it's Jeff
couple
Mauro.
Emmy nominations. Yes. And plus, the Comfort guys don't want to go through the drive-thru as much as the black car guys.
Yes. Glad you threw car in there. I am. And your rep for 1 second was yes, exactly. It's me mentioning this soda thing that could get us in trouble, but
that's good.
Go ahead.
Big Mac, obviously a 20 piece. And I'll probably just do one sauce, the drunk, because I'm not going to be able to open them. You're fumbling around.
It's too much work.
And that would probably be the sweet and sour.
Okay.
All right. Then the fries. And I'm not a big ketchup guy, but something about like 8 little zippers of ketchup on the bottom of the bag that are getting heated up.
Warmed up. The Mauro minute.
Just boom. And I'm back there just desecrating this, Tesla Y.
Yeah, which is what it's asking itself.
Exactly.
Tesla fucking Y. How do you take your eggs, ideally, other than hard boiled, which you fucking hate?
No, I don't.
Every time you go to a diner, how do you order your eggs?
Sunny side up.
Okay.
Always. I want to see the craftsmanship.
What about your pizza? When you order pizza, you're a toppings guy? If so, what type of toppings? How do you order your pizza?
Medium. Well, okay. If I'm at the joint, we'll start with delivery because that's how most people I feel like. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you're in New York, you get a slice, whatever. But you order, I get a medium pizza, half pepperoni, half sausage, uncut, well done.
Uncut, well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then, you get seepage.
Why uncut?
Because then if I want to reheat it, because it was spent, spent an extra
then you go
20
right
minutes in
onto the
Toby's
peel.
car in his Tesla Y, I go right on the peel, right in the oven. And it does not get soggy because of the the seepage of moisture through the cuts.
I think I like this. And I'm learning new things every day.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's fat guy ingenuity.
Yes, ordering your delivery pizza uncut. So for the record, I'm changing my stance. My delivery pizza from now on, I still prefer penises cut.
Yes.
Okay, that's something that had happened very very early on. I will take my delivery pizzas uncut, and then half pepperoni, half sausage. I got no problems with that.
You're good with that.
Yeah.
I don't want any giardiniera sometimes. But I have my, usually I put it on.
I like to dummy it. Yeah,
I like to put it on, but I do not give me green peppers or onions or anything like that. Fresh mushrooms with the sausage.
Less is more, I think, with a pizza, right?
Yeah.
How do you take your steak?
Medium rare plus, especially if it's a ribeye bone in.
I hate you.
Show me the way.
Waitresses hate you.
No, they don't. Look at me. I walk into a restaurant, the waitresses are like, "Oh my God, Tony from Tony, it's Skinny Tony." I love, dude. It's the Goldilocks zone. I know it's douchey. Like if it's a fillet, I'll order it medium rare, obviously. But if it's a high fat content with a bone attached,
your ribeye. I go medium now with them.
I don't mind
my ribeyes. I go.
But
medium.
see, now then I feel like. I feel like I'm emasculating myself when I do a meads.
I think now that I don't care anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm so close. I'm on the back 9.
I can tell.
I'm probably on like 16 right now.
Yeah,
right.
yes.
So what do I need? So I go medium on my bone-in ribeyes, and I'm still medium rare on my strips, and I'm rare on fillet. I don't order fillets. They're for prostitutes and little girls.
I agree.
What's your favorite beverage, hot or cold? What's your favorite beverage?
Hot or cold?
Doesn't matter.
World.
Either or.
Wine, like a Napa Cab or like a Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. Not even like a $20, $30 bottle of wine. That I have a penchant for wine.
What about a cocktail? If you have to order a cocktail, what cocktail you order?
Oh, I get a Manhattan. Okay. Maker's Manhattan on the rocks. Yeah.
Excellent. If you had to get rid of one of these forever, which would you choose? And I know the answer: chocolate or cheese?
I get rid of chocolate
in a heartbeat.
Oh, cheese is so just dynamic.
And I can't ask an Italian guy that question. I think I'm going to take it off the list. Right?
What else could you do besides like would you get rid of Asian food or cheese?
You give me, if I have somebody whose diet consists almost exclusively of Asian dishes, they're getting rid of cheese in a cocaine heartbeat, right? Because so that's the only thing where, and me, I would probably give up cheese because I'm a dark chocolate. I would dark chocolate every night next to my bed with an ice cold glass of water. It sounds awful, but
it's like you just want to like always be at the Ritz or like the Four Seasons or whatever.
I just always want to be congested.
It's like you just want your teeth nice and brown for when you go to bed.
It's like I was gargling with chocolate syrup. What's the Tim Duncan of foods for you? Not flashy, but operates at a very high level.
Not flashy, operates at a high level, Tim Duncan.
No, you think, like Tim Duncan, you think about that. He doesn't get put on the Rushmore. Yeah. Maybe he deserves to be there. What's that understated, always on point food for Jeff Mauro?
Always on point. Oh, man. Oh, this is hard. Why is it so hard?
It is hard because I can tell you, I use the ice cream sandwich as my example. But people like, you can go travel the world and try and do something, but sometimes when you're sitting in a hotel and you order the turkey club, like at a hotel, it's the only thing I order from room service now.
It's brilliant. That's sometimes a burger.
Is that? Yeah.
Dude, I was staying at a decent hotel in the city. We always stay there if I'm doing network stuff. It's a beautiful hotel, the Edition. I was like, I'm gonna get something like, it's chicken tandoori, and it's from the Clock Tower restaurant, which is great. I ate there last night. It's like great. Just had some small bites, whatever. It just threw me off, dude. And I looked back at that menu. I'm like, should have gotten the burger. Should have gotten at least a steak or something. You know what I mean? Room service is a crazy thing, but for me, I would say like a chicken breast, like a bone-in, skin-on.
Nobody does it anymore.
Like seared, like just crusty, like where it's not weirdly moist, because this room service dish was like dude, it was towing the line like under, and I'm like, I don't like this texture.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's something unnatural. I know
especially
exactly.
with like a fatty, like too, and then you get to the thigh, and again, right? Another, there's, I'm like, what the hell? This thing's mooing,
Right.
And chickens don't moo. That's the joke.
Yeah, it was the Second City thing.
But for me, but like when it's
done right, it's done perfectly.
Like brined or well treated. Lee Wolin from Boca did one with like a brioche pate under the skin he would used to do, and it was this chicken breast. It was sliced like perfect, and it was just like the most perfect chicken. And I crave that. I think it's still on the menu. I don't know. I got to go back there.
And I think that's a very good answer, because most people don't reach into their bag and splurge when they go to a restaurant and be like, that's what I'm going to get. But when it's executed flawlessly, you crunchy outside and you're still juicy on the inside.
Hard as hell, dude.
It's tough to do. And that's why thighs are so easy. You can forget about a thigh for a day and a half and it's still good in the oven.
They're like, take it to 210. Like even like recipes are like,
doesn't matter.
They're like 208's ideal. And you're like, you do that to a chicken breast. And that's why like the timing of it is so much, I think, harder to execute a la minute. A raw chicken breast like that than like a steak, and but you go out, you order a chicken breast,
But and the reason I don't do that a lot is 50% of the times I'm disappointed. So they just it's just dry, and then I'm covering it with gravy. If you could recommend one restaurant in the world, anywhere in the world, to me, knowing what you know about me, which isn't a lot, what restaurant would it be?
There's a place we go every year. Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman. My cousins have been going there for like 50 years, and we glommed on about 12 years ago, and I just fell in love with it. I started meeting all these restaurant operators and locals and chefs and everything. It's just got like the best, freshest food. There's a place called, it's actually, you don't say Cayman, you say Cayman.
Okay.
So it's called Cayman Cabana, and it's like it's downtown, close to like the ports where the cruise ships come out, and sometimes it's a club at night. Crazy. But every Thursday night, the chefs and the owner, Luigi, Christina, they do this farm to table dinner, and it's just like snapper pulled right from the ocean.
It's nothing like it.
Coconut ceviche pulled right from the trees, calla lily, like all the stuff, and they've kind of transformed the island into people paying attention more to like, all the local bounty there that you're not just coming off a tanker from Cisco or whatever, and it's just like, I don't know, you're on a dock, you're looking at the ocean, the sunset, and like, the wine's free flowing.
Total package.
It's just like the total package. And we go there, and I send everybody that goes to that island, and I could talk about that place forever.
Cayman Cabana, yeah.
Thursday night, farm to table dinner.
Is there a dish or a meal or a snack that you eat that you'd be embarrassed that people know about? Like I put cake frosting on aspirin or something. Like what?
You got to do that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things.
Baby aspirin.
Mayonnaise sandwiches, and which obviously you don't do. But is there something that the king of the world, as far as sandwiches goes, eats where people like? Is there?
Yeah, I got one.
Go.
All right. It's Pringles. This is a Mauro family friend. We call it Pringles and cheese.
Really?
Dude, flat on my mom would buy the Hundo stack, the flimsiest paper plates.
Yeah.
That if you put enough cheese on it, you can eat the plate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes, because so much oil goes into it. You infuse the plate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You literally braise the plate.
Yeah.
Just flat out. Maybe a couple stacks, but like mostly a sheet. Mm-hmm. Under that, right? Or you could do it over. It depends how you're feeling. We'd always have like mortadella in our fridge, as cliche as it sounds. Sliced American cheese, mortadella, layered. Put in the microwave for about 38 seconds till it hits that like goo factor, but then it almost like the cheese like the mortadella just sweats and crisps up in the weirdest fried bologna type of way, right?
It's the only thing that's saving this for me.
Yeah.
The mortadella, because otherwise you're a disgrace. Go ahead.
This is I thought this was the judgment free zone.
This is a judgy zone. Okay. Yeah.
And then there's like kind of the edge of the Pringles, which fuse with the, just the fake processed pasteurized cheese food. And it gets like that leathery hard bite. And then the kind of,
that's the one.
And then you get like the melted bologna with the gooey cheese, bro. It is
I'll take your word for it. But I mean, I would. I'd fuck with all
You
that.
don't need
but I
any
could see that.
seasoning on this.
No, huh? Right? We don't need the black powder. We don't need a little bit of this. The honey G.
No sea salt is necessary.
What meal you wish you can get back? Maybe from your childhood. Maybe served in a restaurant that no longer exists by a family member that might not be with us.
Oh man, this was. There's a place called Annie's Beef, which is right by our school growing up on Lake Street, and Lathrop, and it was run by this Korean couple, and they were just the best. Terrible beefs. Like, it was like, we always called it orange beef. We're like, why is this beef so orange? It had like too much paprika. And I don't know. But they did, their burgers were good, like char grilled burgers. But I always got a cheese fry with obviously like the 10 can of cheese.
Yeah.
Boom, on like the weirdly white yet crispy fries, and a pizza puff. And it was like where you take girls like for a date and like for lunch.
And you'll never get that back.
Never. And they had a love meter machine there. It was like a stand. There was no seats. And It was just the stand or stools and stuff. And so you do the love meter or whatever.
Sure.
Or the Simon game, the Simon Says game, and you'd win a free ice cream if nobody fucking did anything, and you get like the pizza. You couldn't eat the pizza puff for at least 22 minutes.
Oh, it was molten.
So you'd snack on the fries. It was just, I guess it's another thing. I do not put ketchup on burgers, on hot dogs, obviously. I mean, as cliches, I just don't like them. And I don't like cold ketchup. But I do like a little squirt of ketchup on my cheese fries once in a while.
I'll tell you, warm ketchup out of a squeeze bottle that has a small opening is better.
I agree.
If you hit when you can just almost write your name in script as opposed to like this fucking animalistic glug type shit, sign me up. This is going to be our last question.
All right.
Your death row meal, the more weird or lavish, the better for me.
All right. I would say I would do a pizza. The pizza, right? Mm-hmm. I would do the pizza with a little ranch on the side. A little giardiniera and ranch that I can mix up to dip my pizza into there. And I would do, for my salad course, I would do an Italian sub, double meat,
sure,
sharp provolone, shaved iceberg, just a whisper of a slice of Roma tomatoes, saturated in the oil and vinegar, giardiniera on that, boom. And then I'd have like one of my wife's famous chocolate chip cookies she makes, just like a scoop of like fucking Haagen-Dazs vanilla on there with a little whipped cream from the canister.
Yeah, you deserve.
Maybe some crushed
You killed
cashews.
a man, right? So just keep in mind, they don't want you to have a really great experience.
It's in the contract, bro. It's part of the perks of killing dudes.
All right, I'm going to wrap up. Worst Cooks in America reality check. So it airs every Sunday.
Yep.
But on Food Network. But you can also see it on HBO Max. HBO Max. I love the fact that a lot of stuff from the Food Network is streaming on HBO Max. So Jeff Mauro is the host of that. Make sure you check him out. If you guys are in the mood to cook like you've never cooked before, go to mauroprovisions.com. And honest to God, just look through it because everything has a pretty cool story and a pretty cool idea around it. So it's a ton of shit for you guys to try.
We're really proud.
Jeff,
come see my live show. Can I plug my live shows?
I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. Go see your live show.
I've been working really hard on it.
I apologize. I didn't do that.
So we're starting here in Chicago. It's already sold out in Chicago. But January 22nd, so we start the mini tour.
Okay.
It's called Jeff Mauro Live from Clown to King. And it's just the perfect, amalgamation of my crafts, right? Food, comedy, and music. I have my band up there for my band guys. My sister's up there. It's just a story of my life with some sandwich building, with some variety, singing, dancing, guitaring, and that's and the tickets are now on sale for St. Louis City Winery, Pittsburgh City Winery, and Philly City Winery. Check out the dates and the tickets available at jeffmauro.com.
If I go to jeffmauro.com, then I'd probably be able to link into all this stuff. That's
go to mauroprovisions.com for this. Yeah.
Okay. So jeffmauro.com for the live show. Would I be invited to the live show when it comes to New York?
We just talked about it today. The City Winery wants to do it. We're trying to find a day. You would be my guest, and then some.
Would I? I would be insulted if I wasn't, because I think we bonded here a little bit.
I think I might even just invite you on stage to build a sandwich with me, or at least do the TV taste, or help me wrap sandwiches. Maybe not. Your wrapping wasn't that good, actually.
Oh, fuck. All right, yeah. By the way, that sandwich was dry. All right, so this is Jeff Mauro. I really appreciate your time. You come back again, right? If you need something.
I would love this, man. This is the most fun I've had in 6 hours.
Like and subscribe. Do whatever the hell that you would do with this. Ian and I appreciate all the support that you guys have given us so far and going forward. You got to try this. We'll see you guys next week.